Welcome to DeConstructed. I'm your host, Sheenie. DEI is complex. It's called law flag. It's been called things like a box ticking exercise, a buzzword, and more. So, the easiest way to tackle complex things is together. And on this series, we'll be inviting people to talk about their stories and dive into ways in which we are making media brands a more equitable workplace. From the things that we're already doing to the things that we can be doing better. Simply put, we want to make workplaces fairer for everyone. With that, I've got our very first guest, Cindy So.
Hello.
Cindy, let's start by you telling us more about you.
Hi, I'm Cindy. I was diagnosed with a rare genetic disorder since birth, and that means that I will lose certain abilities as I grow older. But that's okay because I'm all about living life to the fullest. I'm also a graduate with a diploma in business and currently on the lookout on how I can meaningfully contribute to the business world.
Thank you for introducing yourself. I first met Cindy through Starting Block, our internship program. With Starting Block, we tailor the program as and when somebody from an underrepresented community joins us to match their needs. So Cindy, I am curious, can you share with us what was the toughest part of moving from school to the working world?
I think the toughest part from moving to school to the working world is that I do not know what to expect. I've heard a lot of horror stories from seniors where they felt discriminated and that they don't feel a sense of belonging where they are working. So I think that really scared me. And secondly, whether I can effectively communicate my needs without making it sound like a burden to the company as well.
Yeah, I am really grateful that our internship partners at SG Enable connected us. They did a bit more by also giving us best practices and a job coach even. So that's on our end. I'm curious to hear on your end, how was your internship experience with us?
Very great. Like I enjoyed my time in UN. I think my coworkers were very accommodative and they were very friendly to me as well. And not in a way where it's not professional. I think we are still working uh, as coworkers, but at the same time they're looking out for my needs.
I'm so glad to hear that feedback as well. If you've got any tips, any advice for hiring managers, what would that be?
I think one tip would be to not assume. I think a lot of time people assume that people with disabilities have a certain needs or a certain way that you would behave, right? So I think for hiring managers, just treat us as a normal individual and maybe can be a bit more supportive, like or maybe start to sound out what needs do we have so that we could feel a bit safer when we have certain concerns or when we're struggling alone. So I think creating a great environment would be a very good way to encourage us to speak up.
We hear you. And I've got one last question for you. What's next for you?
So currently, I've started a social media initiative called Tiny Thriving, where I'll be sharing more about what's like living with a disability. I hope to share the real world behind the scene to encourage people to start asking maybe sensitive questions without feeling judged, and also those with disabilities to realize that they have a community and they are not struggling on their own. And I hope that one day this could become a social media movement and people will talk about it without. It's a normal thing.
Love that. I'm going to be following you. People should be following you. If you're someone like Cindy and you are interested in an internship with us or an open role, approach us. Our talent team is very ready to have conversations with you about reasonable accommodations and supporting you in the ways that you need. Cindy, it's been an absolute pleasure having you with us and wonderful to look at how a tailored program can even out the playing field a little bit and making things a bit easier for someone with disability, allowing them to thrive in the workplace, showcase their skills, and follow their dreams. That is all for this episode of DeConstructed. Tune in next time as we dissect, discuss, and dive into making workplaces more equitable. We'll see you then.